This is the story Tea, and we are on part 2. Tea, part 2. Chris Horton liked doing new things. He spoke several European languages and traveled around Europe as much as he could. He just loved seeing new places and new people. He thought it helped him to enjoy his own Yorkshire even more. "You always loved the place where you were born," was what he said. "It's where your heart is." But now he thought he was wrong. Alice was looking into Chris's blue eyes as he poured some more Japanese tea. "So you don't think your heart belongs to Yorkshire anymore? Is that what's worrying you?" Chris laughed, but he didn't sound happy. "Oh, I still love my home, if that's what you call the place where you were born. But—" "Yes?" Alice wanted him to continue. "But can't your real home be somewhere else? Somewhere where you feel your ideas really matter?" Chris looked very serious as he said this. "Like Japan, for example?" said Alice, looking around Chris's flat. The flat was now full of beautiful Japanese furniture and paintings. On a wall, above the fire, were the most important pieces in the room: a samurai sword and knife. They were very old, and Alice knew they had cost a lot. Chris had earned a lot of money from his books, but he wasn't rich yet. She was sure that he'd spent all the money he had on them. "They're beautiful, aren't they?" said Chris, smiling again. "They just feel so right here." "In Tokyo, yes. But Paris?" Alice answered, not feeling right here at all. And the place felt so cold, though she said nothing. "What's the matter with you, Chris? These things are beautiful, but you came to Paris to write about France, not Japan. You know France, don't you? It's full of French things. That's why you got this place in Paris, to be near French things so you could write about France. Remember?" Chris laughed angrily. "I'm a writer. Writers look for the truth, and to find it, they need to be free. Paris is a center for writers, and so is a center for freedom, where we can say what we want through our work." Alice was not hearing the Chris she knew. He hated politics. His books were fun and a good read to take on holiday, but nothing more than that. What had happened to him? "I have discovered," Chris continued, "that truly great beauty is easy to understand, just like this." And he waved his arm around the room. "You see?" "I see." Alice liked Japanese things, but she had never heard Chris talk about Japan in this way before. Not once. "So you're a Japanese now? A Japanese writer from Yorkshire? Have I missed something here, or is this some kind of expensive joke?" Chris's face went red. He went over and put his hand on the handle of the sword. "I do not joke about my work. he shouted. For a moment, Alice thought he was going to pick up the sword and use it. She sat back further in her chair, afraid but wanting to know more. "Your work, Chris?" she asked quietly. "I thought you bought these things." Chris's face looked surprised. He looked at his hand and took it away from the sword, as if he didn't know how it had got there. He sat down. "I'm sorry, Alice. I only meant the work I own, of course. I just like it. Don't be afraid. I don't know what happened to me. Have some more tea." "I'd rather have some writing from you," Alice said gently. "Your publishers are still waiting for the new book from their favorite writer." "Yes," Chris answered, his voice more like his own again. "I'll start it today." "Promise?" "Promise." And with that, Chris laughed in the way that Alice knew and liked. To Alice Delancey at agentsync.co.uk. From editor at newbooks.co.uk. Dear Alice, the first chapter of Chris Horton's book was great, but where is the rest? We haven't heard from him for a long while, and he doesn't reply to our letters, emails, or telephone calls. We must have the book ready very soon, so we can get it into the shops before Christmas. It seems that Chris has developed a great interest in Japanese things. He has even spoken on French television about it. We are worried that his other interests are taking him away from his work. We expect him to finish his work for us as soon as possible. If this book isn't completed soon, we won't take any more books from him in the future. We hope that you, as his agent, can help. Alice was angry, but couldn't blame the publishers. More than anything, she was worried about her favorite writer, Chris. The British public were also starting to ask where the Yorkshireman with the bicycle had gone. It was clear they wanted him back. So did Alice. What worried Alice most of all was that Chris did not seem to be himself. He had changed after he had moved into that awful flat. Did the flat have anything to do with those changes? Well, I'm not going to find out here in London, she told herself. The answer is in Paris. Wow, that is the end of the second part of this story. I look forward to talking to you about this part in the class, and then I will see you in part 3. Bye-bye.